Good morning. This is tutorial for addition of radicals. Remember, this is just a number. They can't hurt you, everybody. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Dejan Pacleb, and today is tutorial by adding radicals. So, let's start. We have a problem number one. Problem number one, we have a 3 square root of 5 plus 4 square root of 5. When adding radicals, the radical and any variables must be the same. Okay, so let's start. If they have the same square root, that means we need to combine together. So 3 plus 4 equals equals 7. And add stick with same radical 5. That's all. That's the first problem. So that's the answer. So let's start problem number 2. Given is square root of 27 plus square root of 12. Because these two radicals are different, I can add them the way they are right now. What I can do is simplify them. So we start with the largest. 27 is equal to 9. Can be 9 times 3. Square root of 9 times 3. 9 times 3 plus square root of 12 is 4 times 3. Square root of 4 times 3. And the square root of 9 is, so the square root of 9 and 4 is, where 9 is 3 square root of 3, then plus square root of 4 is 2 square root of, copy the 3 and 3, and going to add this term together because they are identical now. They are the same. 3 plus 2 equals to 5, then copy the square root. This is 3. That's all. That's the problem number 2. Thank you.
Hello. In this video, we want to look out on adding radicals. Adding adding radicals is very similar to combining like terms. For example, 6x plus 2x. If we combine them, we have 8x. Just like adding radicals, we need the square roots to be the same so that we can combine them. Now, for this example, the 2 times the square root of 5 plus 4 times the square root of 5, we notice that the square roots are the same. So what we are basically what we're going to do is to simply add these two outside numbers. So 2 plus 4, carry out the square root of 5, because as we said, if they have the same square roots, we just add the two outside numbers. So we will have this 6 times the square root of 5, and that's the answer. Stop more. Another example of adding radicals is we have here the square root of 12 plus the square root of 75. On the first one, we have here that we noticed here that the squares are the same, but here they are different. So what we are going to do is to find the prime factors of these two squares. So if we factor out 12, we will have 4 times 3, and on the other side, square root of 75, 25 times 3 factored out, factor 25, 5 times 5. So there, we notice that we have the same factors here. So what we're going to do is to get the factors of 4 and factor of 25. So if we're going what we're going to do is to simply move move the factor of 4 outside. 4 square root of 3 plus 5 square root of 3. We came up with here because we want the squares to be the same. That's why, and as we noticed here, the factors of 12 and 75 had the same factors. So what we're going to do here, that we have the same squares, we're going to add the outside numbers. 4 plus 5 square root of 3 is equals to 9. 2 plus 5 is equals to 7 square root of 3, and that's the answer. On the next problem, so basically what we are going to do in here is that look for similar squares. So we found that the square root of b minus this 5 times the square root of b are the same. So what we are going to do here is to simply get the answer of the square root of b minus the 5 square root of 5 times the square root of b. Now, you notice that the 6 times the square root of 2b is different from these two squares because just like in combining like terms, 6x raised to 2 plus 2x, we notice that they are different. So just like in here, the square root of b plus 6 square root of 2b are different. So what we're going to do in here is that we carry out the 6 times the square root of 2b, and that's the answer, because we can't do anything about the 6 square times the square root of 2b. On this problem, we have here the 2 times the square root of 12 plus 6 times the square root of 3. So what we're going to do is to factor out 12. So what we're going to do in here is that, because we observe that the square root of 3 is in the lowest term, is not a perfect square, what we're going to do is to simply factor out the square root of 12, and we came up with the factors of 2 times 2 times 3 we have 12. So what we're going to do is to multiply the factors of 4 to this. If we multiply 2 times 2, we will get 4 and the square root of 3 plus 6 times the square root of 3. And if we add this 2, we will come up with 10 square root of 3, and that's the answer.